displaying the glory of God's creation by exploring America one park at a time. Welcome to Parking Full Time with Big Dave, the park's professor. First hole. The par and distance are at the top of the screen. This hole is completely flat, it's completely open, and it's pretty boring. There is a paved walking trail off to the right, and that trail is close enough that you need to check for walkers before you throw. I want to welcome you back to Parking Full Time. I am Big Dave, the park's professor. We are at South Fork Park in Florence, Kentucky, and therefore we are in northern Kentucky, just across the river from Cincinnati, Ohio. There is the first basket. And there's the view back to the tee from behind the basket. The second hole is the first of two forced water carries. It's just under 200 feet in order to clear the creek, and so a good throw from a good player will stay dry. We're going to jump over the creek and then head on up to the basket. The fairway is plenty wide, but there is some dense woods just beyond the basket, so you really don't want to miss long with your approach throw. There's the second basket. And there's the view back to the tee from behind the basket. The third hole is the longest hole on this course. It plays slightly uphill, and it's also a slight dogleg left. But the fairway is wide enough and the dogleg is slight enough that if you just barely miss the trees off to the left with a straight throw, that'll put you on line with the basket. There is dense woods on either side of the fairway. In particular, there's dense woods just to the right of the basket, and so you don't want to miss right with your approach throw. The official par on this hole is a par 4, and maybe this hole's a little too short and a little too open to really be a par 4. I captured this video on Tuesday, October the 21st, and it was a beautiful day with temperatures in the mid-50s when I came here. This is a popular city park, and there are quite a few other people around the park, but I was the only player on the disc golf course when I came here. The fourth hole continues the gradual uphill journey away from the creek. It's a pretty wide fairway once again, but there is again dense woods off to the left and also to the right. Overall, this course is pretty beginner friendly, but the rough is pretty rough. If you throw a disc into the woods, that's going to be a tough recovery throw and maybe even a lost disc. The fifth tee is off to the left across the paved walking path and up at the top of a big mound. Overall, this course is pretty well signed, and there's also a really nice course map back by the start of the course. There's the fourth basket, and there's the view back to the tee from behind the basket. Now we get to my two favorite holes on this course. There are three large man-made mounds in the rear of this park, and the next two holes play across those mounds. This hole plays from the top of the south mound to the top of the middle mound. We're going to jump down to the valley between the mounds and then walk up to the basket. These mounds are really steep, and if you miss your throw by a little bit, you might get lucky and have your disc stay on the side of the mound. Alternatively, you might get a bad bounce and have your disc roll all the way down to the bottom of the mound. There's the fifth basket, and there's the view back to the south mound and the tee. The sixth tee is on the side of the middle mound, and the basket is on the top of the north mound, so this hole plays slightly uphill. Also, the fairway gets pinched by these trees down here in the valley, but the trees aren't really this hole's main defense. This hole's main defense is the slope of the mound. I found these mounds to be a real fun challenge, and this course would rank at least a half a star lower and maybe a full star lower if it wasn't for these two mound holes. The seventh hole plays gradually downhill. It's a slight dogleg left, and it's one of the tightest holes on this course, although the fairway is still fairly wide by normal standards. You can't see the basket off of the tee due to the dogleg, but if you aim at this sewer cap directly ahead that you can see, and use a slight right to left disc flight, that should put you on line for the basket. I want to thank you for watching. Parking Full Time would not be anything without the people who watch. I realize that every day, and I heartily thank you every day. There is the basket for the seventh hole, and there's a view back to the tee from behind the basket. The 8th hole is the other forced water carry, but it's also the shortest hole on the course, and therefore getting over the creek or just distance period isn't really a factor. More problematic are 2 large trees that guard the front of the basket, one on either side. And so you need a really accurate throw to get through those trees, and the 8th hole is a really nice short hole. The 9th hole is the last hole on this course. It's another fairly open short par 4. There is some dense woods tight on the right, but there's plenty of room out to the left. Overall, this is a pretty good course. It's probably worth playing here just for the 2 mound holes alone. The rest of the course I could take or leave. Also, this course is only a few miles off of I-71-75 in northern Kentucky, so if you come to this area to play one of the more famous courses in this area, such as Idlewild or Lincoln Ridge or Devou Park, then it's worth adding this course on as an add-on. There's the 9th basket, and the view back to the tee from behind the basket. That is the end of the course. Have a great afternoon, take care, and Lord bless.